the way I feel is America's about to take their country back. November is going to be a massive break on a disaster of a presidency where he's hit 33% approval in Quinnipiac. When you look at the Democrat retirements, it tells you all you need to know, 30 Democrat retirements, that's a 30-year high. When you look at Republicans on the generic ballot, or generic Republican against a generic Democrat, literally most polls it's double digits for Republicans in some of the most recent ones I've seen. And the last time you've had that kind of lead for Republicans, we took back 63 seats in the House in 2010, and nothing's over till it's over. You don't want to spike the football too soon, but America's fed up. And unless there's a rapid 180 for this president, it's going to be a big red wave in November. And I don't see how you can have a 180 when you're on the verge of World War III. COVID-19, he's handled it horribly. The economy, we're about to hit stagflation, like low growth and inflation, very likely because of what's happening, gas prices. I don't see it turning around.
They can't 180 because they're in a prison of their own ideological, extremes, and they can't break out of it, even in moments when it would make absolute common sense to do that. Like maybe we should support the police and like not let criminals out of jail, or like maybe we should sort of secure the border. Like that seems good.
You think?
Maybe we should take the masks off the kids because they've been wearing diapers for 2 years in their face. Like, the science shows that we don't need that anymore. They can't do it because they've made a deal with the far left. And ultimately that leaves them on the campaign trail with almost no argument. I said this during All Access, but it's true. If you're a Democrat right now, it's hard to think about the things you would actually run on. And if you read the DC newsletters that we get about that, you got Democrat consultants saying, well, maybe we can talk about Democrats taking us out of the pandemic. It's like, really? The only way we got out of this is because of Operation Warp Speed, which was done by the previous president, and then everything else you did was draconian and unnecessary and crushed people's lives. So they don't have anything to run on. What I hope is that if Republicans do get the mantle, they run like the types of Republicans we had on set for the Fox Nation show, like Byron Donalds, like a Josh Mendel, like so many others, that they're courageous, they're unafraid, they draw a contrast, they investigate where we need to investigate.
Yes.
Because there's a lot of, but there is, there's the leadership debate amongst Republicans on the Hill. Well, do we really investigate? Because that feels like we're looking backwards, and we really need to look forwards. And you hear that all the time as it pertains to President Trump as well. Be bold about what you believe in. Don't let the haters hate, because they're going to hate no matter what.
I totally hear you on the investigating. I mean, what's happening on our southern border is one of the greatest scandals in modern history, and it is incumbent upon Republicans to investigate the things that have been hidden from public view.
Yeah, it's arguably, too, I mean, there will be a robust debate about whether it's impeachable or not.
Yeah, I think so.
And I think leadership on either side is going to have a big portion of their base clamoring for that. We've been fighting economic and military battles to varying degrees of success for decades, almost defining our party by that. And underneath that, the underbelly, the left has captured the minds of an entire generation of kids. Now, thankfully, we've got lots of young people here, like we see at other events too, who see the lunacy of COVID, see the lunacy of CRT, see all of the grotesqueness of social media culture and all of that, and are rejecting it, saying, I want to be a pro-American, freedom-loving conservative. But if you're by default through our educational system today, starting in elementary school, you are getting a lock, stock, and barrel progressive education that prepares you to be dependent on government, deferential to government, and ultimately worship things other than our creator. And that's a problem for a free people. You can't maintain your country if you don't believe in your country. And I think Republicans, school choice across the board, but it's more than school choice. It's a total exposure of the corruption of our schools and giving parents an option across the board.
Yeah, I think that's right. And I think there's no more greater image of, I think, the power of education in this election cycle than the parents at these school board meetings. I mean, to take time out of your day, you have kids, you have a job, you have life to live, and you take the time out of your day to go and with passionate tears go to school board meetings like we've seen in Loudoun County. That speaks to the power of this issue. And just when you look at the electoral effect in Virginia, where you had Terry McAuliffe ahead by double digits in education in September, and in literally 30 days, Glenn Youngkin flips it on its head, and a Republican's leading on education by, I think it was 6 to 8 points. That doesn't happen. That doesn't happen. It happened because of the crossroads we were at.
It's true, but it actually was also sort of apolitical. It was a lot of parents saying, like,
that's right.
Don't keep my 5-year-old in the mask, and don't tell my white kid he's a racist automatically. Or my black kid that he's oppressed automatically. Either one. Like, it's simple stuff that they've overreached on, and we get a chance to expose bigger problems by talking about those small ones that are more self-evident.
Yeah, no doubt.